Hello all, Darren here. Thank you for joining me. Lovely to have you. If you'd like to see more unexplained and strange disappearances, subscribe and stay tuned for daily uploads. Now then, on to the video. When Candi Morris vanished from Michigan City, Indiana in 2012, her husband David began dating a member of the search party less than 3 weeks later. Bizarrely, on the same exact day almost a year later, not only were Candi's remains found, but David's girlfriend died in her sleep. Murder. 29-year-old Michigan City resident and mother of 3, Candi Brown Morris, was reported missing by her husband, 45-year-old David Morris, in August 2012. David claimed he had last seen Candi on the 7th of August. However, it was learned Candi was last alive on the 25th when she dropped a friend named Tyrone Harris off at his home around 1 a.m. Candi's wallet was found at Riley's Bar and Grill, and her car was found at Three Sheets Bar, both located in Michigan City, Indiana. A check of her cell phone records indicated she last sent a text near the corner of County Line Road and Chandler Road in Pines, Indiana. According to police, the text was sent to a friend and was nothing out of the ordinary. Volunteers scoured the area for Candi multiple times, however, were unsuccessful at locating her. It was during one of those searches that David met a 30-year-old woman named Anna Reeves. Less than a month after his wife had disappeared, the two began a public romantic relationship. As the temperatures began to drop, the search was called off and Candi remained listed as a missing person. Then, in May of the following year, Candi's remains were discovered in a wooded area near the town of Pines, Indiana, less than a quarter mile from where she sent her last text. Due to the extended period that her remains were exposed to the elements, investigators were unable to determine her cause of death. In a bizarre coincidence, the same day Candi's remains were discovered, David's girlfriend Anna died suddenly in her sleep. David had previous charges of domestic abuse against Anna, however, her cause of death was ruled accidental due to acute mixed drug intoxication or overdose. David was never charged in Candi's murder and denies knowing what happened to her, however. Rumors swirled of his possible involvement. Suspicions were deepened further after David was found guilty of violently murdering a used car lot owner named Hufrazio Arteaga in 2016. The small used car dealership, Easy Drive Auto in Michigan City, Indiana, was co-owned by 65-year-old Hufrazio Arteaga and a man named Sergio Serrano. Hufrazio had moved to the U.S. from Mexico 3 years prior in the hopes of being better able to provide for his family back in Mexico. He worked at his dealership 7 days a week, and nearly all of the money he made, he sent back home. Sergio and Hufrazio became very close during their time working together. However, when business began to suffer and the lot started losing money, Sergio decided to call it quits and sell his half of the business to Hufrazio. Despite their falling out as business partners, the pair remained close friends. So in April, Sergio became alarmed when Hufrazio hadn't called or texted him in days. On April 23rd, Sergio decided to pay a visit to his old friend and business partner. He arrived at Hufrazio's dealership to find the office closed and locked. After knocking for a minute on the door and getting no response, Sergio used his old key to unlock the door. Sergio walked to the back room of the dealership where he saw Hufrazio laying on the floor, covered by a sheet. Sergio immediately called 911. Investigators arrived and discovered that Hufrazio had been the victim of a savage murder. He had been stabbed multiple times in the throat and chest. An autopsy placed his time of death on April 19th. A trail of blood leading from Hufrazio's body to another room led police to conclude that he had been killed in a separate room of the dealership and then dragged to where his body was found. A broken window was believed to have been the killer's entry point. The office was in complete disarray and Hufrazio's wallet and keys were missing. Sergio tells police that the car that Hufrazio normally drove, a white Hyundai Tiburon, was missing. Upon further inspection, it was learned that another car, a green Subaru, was also missing from the lot. Investigators couldn't find any surveillance cameras on Hufrazio's lot, however. A detective noticed a security camera mounted on the business next door that faced the lot. The detectives scoured the surveillance footage to discover that on the day of his murder, Hufrazio could be seen on the video talking to a heavy-set black man. After a short discussion, both the man and Hufrazio enter a green Subaru, the same one that was now missing from the lot, and leave. 6 minutes later, the pair return to the lot. Hufrazio goes inside the office and the man leaves on foot. However, an hour later, the man returns, only this time he does not directly approach the lot. Instead, he stays hidden across the street and merely watches for a bit before being seen going around the side of the building and out of the camera's view. Police believe this person may be their killer, however, the footage is grainy and they are unable to identify the suspect. The following day, the man is once again seen on grainy surveillance driving away in Hufrazio's white car. He is seen again on the 23rd, taking the green Subaru only minutes before Sergio had arrived to find Hufrazio's body. The police turn to the public for help, and after posting the story on Facebook, a witness comes forward. A woman named Kristen told investigators that on April 21st, 2 days after Hufrazio's murder, she had seen a heavy-set black man exiting the dealership's office through the window and walk down the street. She had thought the incident was strange, but it wasn't until she saw the story that she made the connection. Footage from a law firm revealed a clear picture of the suspect. It was the same man seen previously on video on the day of Hufrazio's murder. After police received Hufrazio's bank statements, they saw that on the morning of his murder, he had visited a nearby gas station. Surveillance from the gas station shows that Hufrazio was not alone. The same man seen on the law firm's surveillance can be seen chatting with Hufrazio in line. The two exit the gas station together and climb into Hufrazio's now missing Hyundai Tiburon. A police officer recognizes the man as David Morris, with his past convictions of theft, assault, and domestic battery, not to mention the unsolved murder of his wife Candi. He was well known to police. Later that same day, Hufrazio's bank statement shows that a large purchase exceeding $400 was made later that evening at a grocery store, including the purchase of a vacuum. Police know that David used the card several more times, once at a fast food restaurant, another time at a liquor store. A bolo was issued for David as well as the two missing vehicles. Meanwhile, an officer types the newly purchased vacuum cleaner's serial number into their database to find that it was sold to a pawn shop in Portage, Indiana, just 2 days after it was purchased. Surveillance footage from the pawn shop shows David and a friend arrive in the missing green Subaru with the vacuum. Using his friend's ID, he sells them the vacuum. Police believe they have everything they need to issue a warrant for David's arrest. They learn that David, who is still on probation for a previous crime, has a meeting with his probation officer at the courthouse. When David exits the courthouse, police arrest him. David is questioned by police and eventually admits he did steal the cars, but he claimed he last saw Hufrazio on the 19th, when he bought him a pack of cigarettes at the gas station, and he let him test drive a car. He said when he broke into the dealership, he did not see Hufrazio dead or alive. During the interview, police realized David is wearing the same clothes he had been seen wearing in all of the surveillance footage. They collected his clothing and sent it to the lab to be analyzed. Blood found on David's pants, jacket, and shoes was determined to be Hufrazio's. The stolen vehicles were later found abandoned around Michigan City, and upon searching them, the murder weapon, a serrated kitchen knife, was found hidden under the hood of the green Subaru. David was convicted of the murder of Hufrazio in December 2016 and sentenced to 82 years. However, the murder of his wife Candi goes unsolved. Thank you for watching, and please feel free to give this video a like if you enjoyed it. See you soon, and remember, stay vigilant and stay safe.